We'll let Gary do his pick first then.
Yeah, Gilly's still at the store.
We're live now. Again, ish.
Hey!
Ah!
From a deep, dark, rarely used corner of the
No,
internet.
don't even
Tonight,
go that.
Homebrew Bro.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah,
Box
blah,
of
blah,
blah,
blah. Show blew up, and here's part 2 of the picks.
So,
Go!
Yeah, Keith spilled beer all over his keyboard, so we're just going to do a part 2 with our pick segments, which right now, beginning with Gary, is going to be a sequel to one of my favorite books in recent memory. Not a sequel, sorry. The next book from one of my favorite authors in recent memory. Gary?
My pick is Armada from Ernest Cline, who wrote Ready Player One, which was a great 80s memorabilia piece. And he was in Petaluma last night. Actually, the book is released today, which is, what's today? The 14th of July. And we got it last night and actually got it signed. Can you see that? Yeah, got the book signed. My daughter Grace got this one signed to her. I got Ready Player One signed for me.
Nice.
So we sat and listened to Ernest Cline talk for an hour or so about his life and how things have gone from him being in essentially tech support to getting his book sold and selling millions of copies, and now Steven Spielberg is directing a movie, and the only other movie that Spielberg has ever directed that was an adaptation of a book was this little film called Jaws. So it's kind of a big deal. So it's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to this one. The cover, I don't know, you probably can't see it really well online, but you can go look at it, was actually inspired by the old game Battlezone.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great game.
Yeah, that was a great game. And the premise of this book is that what if all video games from basically kind of the start of the video game era, which is around kind of mid to late 70s, up until now, are training us to actually control drones that we're going to use in an alien invasion war. So a bunch of video game people and a bunch of aliens are controlling two different armies of drones and fighting off an invasion of Earth of aliens. So kind of a lot of different themes from a lot of different kinds of movies, like Independence Day and those, and then also like The Last Starfighter and that.
Ender's Game.
Ender's Game, yeah.
Ender's Game.
Yeah, he actually mentioned Ender's Game several times last night when he was talking about this. It should be interesting. I haven't read any of it yet. I read like maybe the first couple of pages, so since I got it last night. But that is my pick. I'm really looking forward to it. He's actually already sold the screenplay and is already working on the screenplay. So they're doing an adaptation of Armada. And this book is, he said he planned out 3 books in a series for this one. So we can expect sequels to this. And he also hinted that he's going to do sequels to Ready Player One, pretty much because he knows that there's going to be a movie, right? So obviously that the movie is happening, and he's assuming that they're going to do sequels to the movies. So he figures that if he wants any kind of creative say in what the sequels to the Ready Player One are going to be, he better write books about it. So he's going to probably do some sequels to Ready Player One, if only to have some kind of creative control over what happens with the movie sequels. So he's going to be busy writing a lot of stuff. So Armada from Ernest Cline.
How was the crowd? How big was the crowd?
It was a really actually a good sized crowd. I mean, Petaluma is not a huge town, but it was a standing room only. There were probably 30 people standing in the back of the room. So I mean, I would say there's maybe 150 people there. I mean,
Petaluma's not a huge town, but it's a very geek-heavy town. It's very his town.
It is. So, and it's funny because right before he came to the bookstore, which is Copperfield's, which is the local independent bookseller in Sonoma County, he went to the location where they filmed part of the movie Explorers with River Phoenix and Ethan Hawke and some other guy, which I had forgot. I don't know if I've ever actually seen that movie. So that was filmed in Petaluma, so I got to go watch that and then actually find that location. So
if
he's
I can,
huge.
Yeah. Go ahead. If I can make an auxiliary pick with that, if you get a chance, watch the documentary Atari Game Over.
Oh, yeah.
It's on HBO. You can watch
it. Dig up the ET cartridges.
About the ET cartridges in the desert, but he plays a decent-sized role in the film. He drives out, I think, from Arizona to California in a DeLorean owned by Game of Thrones
No,
own.
no. It's actually Ernest Cline's DeLorean that George R. R. Martin borrowed for a
Yeah.
little while. Yeah, so Ernest
Ernie
Cline.
Cline bought that and did
Yeah.
his book tour in it for Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Oh, I
So-
thought he borrowed it from George R. R. Martin.
No, that's
No, it was-
backwards.
Other way around, yeah. Funny story
Yeah.
about that. So if you can actually see Ernest Cline on his book tour for Armada, I would highly recommend it. He's very funny.
That's awesome. I wonder if
Loves
he's used
all kind of geek stuff from the 70s and 80s, and huge Star Wars fan. I mean, that was obvious in the book, but when you see him in person, it's like Star Wars kind of shaped his life in a lot of ways. So that is
cool.
my pick. Go
right.
get Armada.
Also, he did an AMA for Armada today, and
Yeah,
I'll put that
he
link
did.
in the show notes.
Oh, cool.
Nice. All right, Jeremy has an app he wants to tell you about that looks shockingly like Crossy Road.
So if Crossy Road is the iOS answer to Frogger, Down the Mountain is the iOS answer to Qbert. This is a shameless ripoff of Qbert, which is another awesome 80s game. But basically, this is a never-ending hop down a cubicle mountain and avoid obstacle kind of game. It's really fun. It's great. If you like old 80s games, give it a shot. It's free, 99 cents to get rid of the ads. It's Down the Mountain.
All right, Keith,
Looking for that.
we've got a Hearthstone update.
No, I've been banned from talking about that game, so I won't. I'm not going to pester you all with more Hearthstone updates, even though I'm slowly converting you all. Gary, you're my last.
I cannot deny that.
No, actually, I'm going to make a pick that I think Jeremy made about a month ago, because I can't come up with anything original.
Just go to Hearthstone then.
No, I'm picking Into the Circle. It was that little game where you kind of held down your thumb and shot the little disc into the other circles. It was kind of like a modern version of Frisbee golf on your phone. And we all kind of looked at it, and it was kind of interesting. And Rob didn't like that you weren't supposed to just go as far as you could and stop. And
I figured that out.
But here's the thing: is somewhere along the line in a recent update, and I picked it up again and noticed, is they've started tournaments every day on the app. So now as you're playing along, you're automatically entered in the tournament, and as you pass other people, there's a little line there that says, you're now better than such and such in the tournament. And it's just that little extra level of competition that has gotten me totally hooked back into it again. It is now what I do when I'm waiting for anything else. I spend a lot of my day waiting for progress bars to finish, and it is a great game to kill time while waiting for progress bars to finish. And it's just that little bit of added competition makes it cool. And depending on how well you do in the tournament, they give you an award the next day of stars that you can use for continues and stuff like that. So
Man, I guess I haven't done very good in the tournaments.
it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And it got a little better, and I thought it was worth mentioning that it got a little better. So if you haven't tried it yet, it's worth a try. It's a nice little time waster.
That is a fun little game. Really nice design, too. It's beautiful. to
Yeah,
look
it's
at.
a really great design. If you gotten to any of the levels, Jeremy, where they have like black holes and stuff, where they start
Yes.
sucking you in, the physics of that is really well done. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a neat little game.
Yeah.
Good pick.
Hey, good pick.
It's a good pick
From a month
that
ago.
we made together.
All right, my pick for the week is a TV show that I actually have not seen a full episode yet, but I've watched a number of clips. It actually premieres tomorrow night on TV Land, although you can get it on demand in all those many different ways. And it's the Jim Gaffigan Show. Jim Gaffigan is one of the top comedians out there today, and he kind of has the reputation of being a cleaner comic. And that's not to say that he never gets into serious or PG-13. Yeah, he's the Hot Pockets guy. That's right. He never gets into serious or off-color topics, but he kind of does it in a more, I guess you'd say, respectful way. Anyway, TV Land picked up his show, which originally started over at CBS. And shockingly, I listened to an interview with him today, and I mean, you could take this for what it's worth. I'll take him at his word. He said that CBS was trying to take his show in more of a Big Bang Theory direction, which, I'm a Big Bang Theory fan, but I know that there are folks, especially on this show, that don't like it. And he wanted to go a more Curb Your Enthusiasm direction. So he opted to go over to TV Land and have more creative control over his show. It's getting a lot of buzz, and I'm looking forward to watching it in a summer where there's not a lot of sitcoms on to watch. So the Jim Gaffigan...
Not a lot of sitcoms in general anymore.
It's very true. And just a side pick real quick, hats off to Major League Baseball for their home run derby last night. It was awesome. For those of you who don't know, they instituted some new rules on the home run derby and made it into a timed event rather than the batters getting to stand up there and wait for a pitch that they want to hit. They have to do it within 4 minutes, as many home runs as they can hit. If they hit a home run, I think it was over 450 feet, they got 30 seconds added onto the clock. So big shots got you more time on the clock. It made the home run derby more of a race and more of a nail biter, if you can believe it, for something that doesn't matter at all. It made it really interesting. And for a sport that gets so much criticism for being boring and slow, adding that in there, I think, really helped juice it up. I would love to see them do something like that with the actual game. Because if anything, they're losing fans and young kids. It's just too slow for kids today to watch. So hopefully they'll expand this into other ways of speeding up the game.
Well, the home run derby new rules, it's almost like it was taken from a Sega game.
Yeah.
It's like pole position meets home run derby.
Yeah, and who cares? I mean, it's an exhibition.
Clear the checkpoint, you get more time.
Right. So yeah, very cool.
I approve.
Yeah, good job, Major League Baseball. All right, that's going to wrap it up for the Pint of No Return show, Part 2. I'm assuming Part 1's out there somewhere, although there's a juicy little bit that you'll never get to hear.
Yeah.
There's a part where Keith
telling you guys are all
stupid. There's a part where Keith's waving his keyboard in front of the camera, but that'll just be a little private show for us.
That might have been the end of it right there.
Don't spill your homebrew on the keyboard.
I have a feeling the waving the keyboard might be on there, but the wiping of the keyboard afterwards might be the end of the show.
Yeah. So anyway, we want to thank you for watching. Recommend us to your friends, your neighbors, and even maybe some of your enemies if you really want to get on their bad side. Recommend the Pint of No Return show to them, and we thank you for your support. Guys, any closing thoughts?
Where'd Gary go?
Where'd I go? My cameras went off.
Gary had to go do dinner stuff. Boring.
Keith's keyboard is sticky.
Yeah, it's so gross right now.